What's up, everybody? Welcome into the Fantasy Football Game Show brought to you by Front Yard Fantasy here on Better Sports Network. I'm your host, Simon, live from the Be More offices yet again, joined, as always, by my co-host, Joey Wright. What's up, Joey?
I'm in the O-Town offices.
Ooh, way better
that
than
means,
the T-Town
here I
offices,
am.
am I right? Well, guys, joining us from my usual offices, not actually his room, but a lot closer to nearby, is our great friend. We've got Eric Romoff here with us today. For those of you that do not know Eric, you can find him on Twitter at Fantasy Nav. He is the man behind Green Screens Media, where you can go to get all your fantasy sports betting and DFS content across multiple sports, and the creator of the Pros with Joe's Charity League tournaments. Eric, thank you so much for taking the time to come on and hang out with us again.
Yeah, thanks for having me on. And while you've been in Be More, I've been slowly breaking into your studio and stealing items for my background. So before long, I'll just have a full Simon replica background.
Did you give me the DJ Moore jersey that's 2 teams behind where he's played? Okay, thank you.
I have so many trinkets in there that I would be so sad if they were gone that I wouldn't realize for months, because I wouldn't look for my Rubik's Cube for 3 months, or I wouldn't look for my Poliwag figurine for 2 months. Then all of a sudden it'd be gone. Well, guys, we got some people in the chat ready for today's show. Craig down here wants to know, what is brown hairy and wears sunglasses? Might be a coconut on vacation, but we're back from vacation. Memorial Day's over. We're back at work, baby. Toronto Dave in the chat says it's go time. What's up, Dave? Welcome in.
Dave.
Albert down here with the hello, everyone. Hello,
Albert. What's up, buddy?
Oh, and Mrs. Scampers. With
Me,
Mrs. Scampers in the
yeah.
chat. What's up, Mrs. Scampers? Glad to have you in here. Thanks for joining us. It's nice to have you join us when you're not just looking for your husband. It's nice to feel wanted just to come in and hang out with us, Mrs. Scampers. We got Jerry Bagshaw in here. What's up, Jerry? Said, hey,
Jerry.
Welcome in.
Hey.
Well, everybody here, we brought Eric here to play a couple different games with us. We are going to play some Quotey McQuoteface and vague descriptions. It's a 2-round special today. 1 cumulative score. Joey and Eric are going to go head-to-head, and we'll have a fantasy football game show champion today. You boys ready?
Yep.
Yes, sir.
Well, before we do that, we got a couple reminders, so hold on to that. Ready? First and foremost, everybody watching, if you're not already following our friend Eric, you need to fix that instantly. You can find him on Twitter at FantasyNav. The link to that is also in the YouTube description below this video if you're watching us on the Front Yard Fantasy YouTube channel. And if you are, go ahead and hit that subscribe button and the little notification bell. It's the easiest way to make sure you never miss us at our new old time, 3 p.m. Eastern time, Monday through Friday. All we do is play games, so come hang out with us in your afternoon break. Okay, I'm going to explain how these games work, then we're going to get into it. I'm going to split them up and just explain Quotey, and then I'll explain vague at the halfway point whenever we get to it. But the first game today is Quotey McQuoteface. This is a game all about NFL quote identification. We've got 6 quotes from around the league over the past week or two of news. What I'm going to do is give a quote to one of our contestants without the person who said it. You're going to have to tell me who said it and why they said it. There's going to be 1 point available for each of those 2 things. If you get either wrong, though, your opponent will have the opportunity to steal. They can steal any and all of those points. We will bounce back and forth. We've got 6 quotes, so each of you will get 3, and then we'll move on to our next game, vague descriptions. One of you will be in the lead after that.
We could be tied.
Or you could be tied. Or
I just wanted to give everyone all the options of what they could be getting into today.
I could also quit before anybody has scored any points. Then there's no game prepared.
Oh, the old forfeit.
The old forfeit from the host. We got some more people down here in the chat ready for the game. Joe, you want to sing this for us?
Peaches, 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 peaches.
Dude, I saw a dude with so much Jack Black energy just walking around the other day. I'm not convinced it wasn't him prepping for a role as a street sweeper. It was him. The confidence, the way he walked, I could smell him. I've never smelled Jack Black, but I know that's what he smells like. We got Grim fan down here. Had a question for us. Wanted to know, where do we see D-Hop going, as the top landing spots are the Bills, Chiefs, Lions, Ravens, Panthers, Texans, and Cowboys. It's a long list right there.
Yeah.
And then Grim seems to think he could see him going to the Panthers. We have Bryce Young, a veteran, number 1 in Hopkins. Eric, if you had to make your prediction for where you think DeAndre Hopkins is going to land, where would you put your money now?
I don't mind the Panthers call, right? I think the essence of this question is, do we think Hopkins goes for a title contender or he goes for the biggest contract? And reporting out there currently says that his market isn't quite as hot as he anticipated. He went out and hired an agent for the first time in forever. So, to me, that's an indicator he's probably looking on the money side of that spectrum. So Panthers probably make sense, kind of like the Lions. They've got a bit of cap room to play around with and could potentially check both of those boxes. So I would like the Lions the most, but ultimately I don't think he lands with like a Chiefs or a Bills because, he's going to come in well below what like Odell Beckham got paid if he's going to those franchises.
The Lions is the most fun as an NFL fan and maybe the least fun as a fantasy football fan of Jameson Williams and Amon-Ra St. Brown. As you're trying to
No, it would be good for Amon-Ra St. Brown, right? That's the line.
You have to figure out somebody's gonna. There can't be 3 top-tier fantasy relevant wide receivers, right? We imagine based on the roles they play that it'll be Amon-Ra St. Brown, but things don't always shake out. You add a guy like Nuke into an offense like that. He's seen his most successful season, seen insane target share. That's the kind of receiver he is. You get the most out of him when he is a dominant one, not a 1A to somebody else's 1B. So even though I do think I get the argument, there's concerns. I'd be worried. Joey,
you've go ahead and said all the negative stuff about the Lions. I'm going to say all the positive stuff about it. He can have his cake and eat it too. They've got a ton of money they can give him, and they're favored to win the NFC North right now. And frankly, outside of the Eagles, who else in the NFC is really a standout, could win this division? Okay, 49ers, but the Lions are a really serious team, and adding that extra wide receiver, not even extra wide receiver, adding Nuke into this offense would be incredible. Jameson Williams is out 6 weeks, so he'll get a lot of work to begin the season, and then they can kind of slow roll Jameson Williams into the offense. I like for fantasy. I like it for NFL. I like it for everything.
For NFL, just as someone who desperately wants this Lions team to make a run unexpectedly this season, it would be so much fun, man. Jerry down here says Hops is going to a contender, and Grim said, unless he wants money, Jerry. And we got Jerry saying could see him going to the Browns as well. I know I've seen multiple rumors of that. That wouldn't be shocking to me, but it's not probably on my top 5 list of teams that I see him ending up at. We got Dame in here. Said, hey guys, good to see Eric.
Hey. Good to be seen.
And also, we got Joey's mom in here wishing us a happy hump day. Happy hump day to you as well, Joey's mom.
Happy hump day.
That phrase brings back just memories of working at a summer camp with 4-year-olds when that commercial came out. Every Wednesday, army of 4 and 5-year-olds running around
Mike.
nonstop. All right, well, guys, we're going to get into our game of Quotey McQuoteface. I explained how it worked. Eric, you are the guest here, so you're going to get the first quote. Are you ready for Quotey McQuoteface? You've never played, but we're going to put you on the spot first up.
I'm ready.
First quote, what I need you to do is tell me who said this and the context behind why they said it. It's going to appear on your screen. I just ain't going to worry about the unexpected. I'm here to finish this year out, and whatever happens, happens. But I know we have a very, very high chance of making the Super Bowl and even winning. This is where I want to be. Whether I come up with a new deal or not, I've got to just go out there, and I'm going to be me. So, Eric, who said this, and why did they say it? I'm going to take it down, but if you want me to put it back up, just let me know.
No, so this is a player on a contender who probably does not have a long-term deal. So immediately my mind goes to the quarterback position. But I'm going to throw and probably because his name was in my mind talking about DeAndre Hopkins, I will go with Odell Beckham Jr. talking about his new landing spot in Baltimore.
That popped in my head too.
Eric going with Odell Beckham Jr. talking about his landing spot in Baltimore. Before I reveal that, if that's correct or not, I want to remind everybody in the chat to play along. Go ahead and put your answers in the chat. If you're right, we will shout you out. And because of that, to our contestants, either full screen it or make sure you're not in the chat because they're going to be playing along down there. Eric, the answer, Odell Beckham Jr. talking about his new team on the Baltimore Ravens is incorrect. I am so sorry. So, Joey, I'm going to put this back up on the screen for you so you can look at it. Who do you think said this, and why did they say it?
For the going to worry about the unexpected. I'm here to finish this year out, and whatever happens, happens. But I know we are a very, very high chance of making the. Okay. I am going to say this is Trey Lance talking about his position with the San Francisco 49ers.
Trey Lance talking about his position with
Yeah.
the San Francisco 49ers. Joey, that is incorrect on both fronts, which means, Eric, because he didn't get it, you're going to have one more chance, an opportunity for redemption on this front. If either point is gotten at any point, we will not offer redemption, but if it gets back to the original, you'll have a shot at stealing it. You want to take one more shot at this?
Sure. Yeah, I'll go back to my original read. Trey Lance was a great guess. Trying to think. Let's go with Jordan Love talking about taking over the starting quarterback position in Green Bay. The blind confidence of thinking that Green Bay is always a contender definitely matches up there.
Owen with the blind confidence of Jordan Love about Green Bay being a contender. Eric, I'm sorry, but that is incorrect. This was actually Tyler Boyd on going into his final year of his contract with the Bengals.
Of course.
Of course, yeah. Tyler Boyd. We've all been talking about the Tyler Boyd contract situation coming up soon. We had some guesses in the chat on that one. Kirk Cousins and his contract from Craig. Lamar Jackson from Grim Fan. Toronto Dave thought it was Saquon. Grim Fan thought it was talking about McCaffrey, and Dame with Goff. So I guess this was a very tough one. Eric, I feel like Tyler Boyd, year in and year out, at least over the past 3 seasons, has been a fantasy value. He just seems to be the third guy, the forgotten guy in a super high-powered offense. Someone that if somebody doesn't perform, it's likely going to be Tyler Boyd. Where do you stand on drafting him? Is he someone that you target later in leagues, or because of Jamar Chase and T. Higgins, is the inconsistency too much for you to tie yourself to?
Yeah, I mean, look, it's going to be hit or miss with him, right? Really looking over the last couple years, the points where he's productive is when there is an injury to one of those two guys in front of him. In terms of whether or not I'm drafting him, I mean, he's far enough down the board where you might even be able to get him off the free agency heap, right? So for a player like that, right, he's going to be in a high-powered offense. He still sees decent volume, and if either of those guys gets hurt, he becomes very fantasy relevant. I don't mind taking a very late round flyer on him.
Joey, do you agree with Eric on Boyd there?
Yeah, it would have to be tremendous value for me to want him to be on my team, but I'm basically in agreement.
The Bengals, I know he mentioned them as a contender, and Vegas tends to agree. There are only 4 teams they have with better odds to win the Super Bowl next year, at least at the FanDuel Sportsbook. You got the Kansas City Chiefs at plus 600, the Eagles at plus 850, the Bills sitting at plus 900, and the 49ers at plus 950. And then the Bengals are right behind them at plus 1,000. Joe, do you agree with where they have them there? Are there any other teams you would put ahead of the Bengals, or would you put the Bengals ahead of any of those teams currently sitting ahead of odds-wise?
I mean, when we were in Vegas, I went and put my hard-earned money down on the Bengals to win the Super Bowl this year, and I'm not wavering.
Do you remember what line you had?
I believe it was plus 850.
Okay.
So it's gone the other way a little bit.
Double down.
Yeah, let's
go.
Get
back to Vegas.
But I put a bill down, so,
we'll see what happens.
Joey, if they, yeah.
All right, well, Dave down here saying that's a $500 question. Eric, you got hit with a tough one to start it out. But we're going to move on to Joey for your first question. Joey, are you ready for question number 2 of Quotey McQuoteface?
I joined a company where I would play games every day, so I have to contractually be able to play games every day. So yes, I am ready.
Ready or not, here it comes. This is your next quote. I think Sam has a real quiet confidence about him. He's not going to tell people what to do, but he knows what he's doing when he gets out on the field. He's very confident in his ability, and he's not afraid to give guys the opportunity to make plays. Who said this, and what are they talking about?
I think it's about Sam Darnold. And I'm going to say it's Trey Lance talking about Sam Darnold. I'm just going to keep saying Trey Lance today until I'm right.
Joey's guessing this is Trey Lance talking about Sam Darnold, his new teammate. I'm sorry, that is wrong on both counts,
both?
Joey.
Oh, you're a liar.
On both counts, that is incorrect. Eric, this is coming to you to steal Joey's points. I'm going to put that quote back up there for you. You can take another look at that. I think Sam has a real quiet confidence about him. He's not going to tell people what to do, but he knows what he's doing when he gets out on the field. He's very confident in his ability, and he's not afraid to give guys the opportunity to make plays. Who said this and why did they say it?
I am going to steal this. This is Terry McLaurin talking about Sam Howell and his ability that he's shown this offseason and how much confidence they have in him as the starting quarterback for the Commanders.
There are a couple Sams in the NFL. And Eric, you identified the right one. This is Commanders wide receiver Terry McLaurin, Scary Terry, talking about quarterback Sam Howell's performance in OTAs. That's going to be 2 points for you, Eric, stealing them on Joey's point and putting you out to an early lead of 2-0. Before we move on to our next prompt, Eric, I'm going to give this one to you. Do you have excitement for Sam Howell? I feel like the board's pretty split on him, but there are some people who are fully bought in to him as a starting quarterback.
I mean, excitement might be a bit of a stretch, right? I think he's an interesting late value in superflex leagues, right? I tend to think that he's going to have a full crack at this job, right? Maybe we see like a Brock Purdy type of upside with him, and I mean in superflex especially, a player that's going to hold the job for the majority of the season has value, right? This is sounding a lot like the argument for Davis Mills last year, right? But I mean, starting 16, 17 games in today's NFL is hard to come by. So in that context, I'm more than happy to roster him. But he's right around the ADP point where I want to see him slide a little bit more before I feel great about it.
I think before Jacoby Brissett signed, I was drafting almost none of him. And he slipped ever so slightly. And in my mind, he should have moved the opposite direction with the Jacoby Brissett signing. That should have been a positive. If Jacoby Brissett beats him out, maybe you shouldn't have been drafting him anyways, where he was getting drafted.
You don't sign a backup if you don't believe you have a starter, right?
Exactly. So I'm more in on Sam Howell than I was before that signing. Joey, are you in on him? Can you support Terry?
I I think he can support Terry. Yes, we've seen some pretty mediocre quarterbacks support Terry.
Say it.
In his career.
And but yeah, I mean, the one game we saw to Howell, he looked really good. I think he's going to get the opportunity there, and if he doesn't, listen, he might have one of the best backups in the league right now. Brissett looked really good for Cleveland last year. Serviceable, I should say, not really good. So yeah, I'm in on Howell though.
We had some guesses in the chat on this one. A lot of Sam confusion. Dave said Shanny and Darnold. Craig
Dave's
said
a very smart man.
Ware talking about Sam Williams. Scampers got the Sam right, but the wrong guy talking about him. Rivera about Howell. Grand Fan thought it was Sam Bradford's head coach. One Nation Underground thought it was Sam talking about himself. Sam Bradford. That would have been funny if this was a Sam Bradford quote. Sam's doing all the right things.
I really want that quote. I want that quote to be real.
So what's up, Scampers? Welcome in. And Dave said Simon is howling for Howell. Yeah, my puppies are howling.
Scampers, your wife was in here looking for you again. We had to cover.
Hey, you better watch out, man.
Yeah.
We can only give the catnip excuse so many times, my bud. All right, Eric, we're back to you. You've got a lead of 2-0 after stealing Joey's quote. You ready for quote number 3 at Quotey McQuoteface?
Yeah, let's get it.
I know that I'm still a starting quarterback in this league, but man, I have to be like, this is all a process. There's some Hall of Famers that made their big break at 30. So I'm still young. I'm still 29. But right now my role is to serve this team in the role that I'm in. Eric, who said this and what is the context?
It's a quarterback. Immediately, at least until the age came out, I was thinking Baker Mayfield, but I believe he is younger than 29. Who is a 29-year-old quarterback that has some instability in his role? Man, I am completely drawing a blank on who's in that age range. Whatever. Let's pretend Baker Mayfield's 29. Baker Mayfield talking about his job opportunity with the Buccaneers.
Baker Mayfield talking about his job opportunity with the Buccaneers. And Eric, I think Baker Mayfield actually is 29, but this is not his quote. That is a phenomenal guess. But Joey, you will now have an opportunity for some revenge on Eric. I steal his quote.
I do know of a quarterback that is 29. I want to see the quote one more time.
Yeah, let's throw that quote up there for you.
Yeah. They brought in a rookie behind him, but we know that rookie's not going to play this year. I'm going to go with Jared Goff. Talking about playing for the Lions now and in the future. I know he's 29. We'll see if I'm right or wrong.
Jared Goff from Joey about them drafting a rookie quarterback behind him. That is incorrect, Joey, which means, Eric, we're going to come back to you. You can choose to take one more shot at this if you would like to.
This is my nightmare. I already felt bad about not knowing any 29-year-old quarterbacks, and now I have to do it again. Sam Darnold's not 29. I think he's much younger than that.
He's like 11, I think.
I'll go on the other end of the spectrum. This is a suddenly 29-year-old Andy Dalton talking about the competition with Bryce Young.
Andy Dalton, unwilling to accept his true age. He's one of those people that just says 29 every year.
Yeah, once you get to a certain age, every birthday you're turning 29, right?
Eric, I'm sorry, but that is incorrect. One person in the chat got this. We had a lot of answers. One Nation said Geno Smith. Scott Fish said I would have guessed Dak. Craig said Marcus Mariota signing to be Hurts' backup. Grim Fan said Taysom Hill. But the correct answer was Dave coming in with famous Jameis Winston saying this. This was quarterback Jameis Winston on his mindset going into this upcoming season.
Eating that dub.
Eating that absolute dub. Joey, you got to watch famous Jameis up close and personal as a Bucs fan. Do you think he has starting NFL quarterback in his skill set? Do you agree with him here?
I think he has starting fantasy quarterback in his skill set, but I don't think an NFL team should put him out there as their starter. He's fun for fantasy. He's going to throw a ton of touchdowns. He's going to throw a lot of yards. But the problem is, from an NFL standpoint, he throws a lot of interceptions. And the LASIK didn't seem to fix that, although we didn't get a really clear look at that. Are you okay?
That's just my favorite. I love that.
Yeah, no,
as a whole,
terrified.
A large group of people all said, yeah, someone put a laser in his eyes and he's going to throw less interceptions now. Like we all
It makes sense.
Everyone was like, yes, that makes sense. They shot a laser in his eyes and now he's going to throw 50% less interceptions.
But
looking back, it's like, why did we all think that?
Outside of a midseason replacement, I don't see Jameis Winston starting in fantasy or starting for an NFL team this year.
Well, Dave just ate a W in honor of Jameis. Eric, the guy he's a backup for, how are you feeling about the New Orleans Saints quarterback situation going into 2023?
I mean, it's certainly an upgrade from last year, right? I saw a report that the Saints have either brought in or are talking about bringing in John Gruden. So now they have someone in the building that loves him some Derek Carr. And I mean, if nothing else, from top to bottom, this might be his most talented receiving core that he's ever had. So, there's reason to be optimistic about his outlook for this upcoming year. The Dennis Allen system isn't exactly the most electric out there, so his upside is going to be capped. But you're looking for a guy who's got the job, who's shown that he can at least provide some touchdown upside. Right, he throws a lot to the end zone for a guy that doesn't really throw a whole lot. So he's a solid backup if you're trying to draft one of the mobile quarterbacks or younger quarterbacks with upside, and you need someone that is just going to be a stabilizing force on your bench. Derek Carr is a fantastic target, but ultimately he's a lot of things are going to have to go right if he wants to break into the QB1 conversation.
That makes sense, and I think I've had trouble determining whether or not I'm more excited or less excited with his new landing spot. It feels relatively lateral. Joey, are you more excited for Derek Carr this year or less excited for Derek Carr in New Orleans?
I am Derek Carr. I don't think I'm excited for him or not excited for him. If he's my second quarterback and I landed somebody like Mahomes or Josh Allen as my QB1 in Superflex, okay, I got Derek Carr. He's got some great weapons. I do think Michael Thomas could have a really good season. Olave is a superstar in the making. So, yeah, I mean, it could be a really good position for him. Just change the scenery for him.
Let's see if it works out. Joey, I tried to give you 2 points for some
And-
undisclosed reason, but I did take those away because you did not earn them via the rules of the game.
But I
do
called
think you-
myself out. I said, "Did you give me points for making you laugh?" And then
You're just you
He
earned
should,
so
he should
many
absolutely get a point for self-reporting. That was the honest thing to do.
outside of the mechanics of this game, Joey. I just awarded you so many points, but within the mechanics of the game, you have 0. And the score is 2-0 going into the next quote. But
Simon, what am I thinking about right now with what you just said?
Lasagna.
No,
I'm
I'm thinking about mechanics because you said mechanics, and that's all I can think about.
Nice little car mechanic. Yeah, we're going to introduce a new mechanic here shortly. His name's Greg. He fixed my car last week. And
Right.
Joey, here is your next quote.
Hmm.
Because that last one was
Okay.
Eric. Quote number 4 in Quotey McQuoteface coming your way. Year 2 goals are Pro Bowl. And I feel like last year, I feel like I got snubbed because there wasn't a lot of guys in there at the Pro Bowl that excited me. Then the Super Bowl, the 2 bowls, a lot of rack, run after catch, 2 bowls for sure. Joey, who said this and why did they say it? Let me know if you want me to pull it back.
Put it back up. Put it back up.
No pressure, Joey, but I know this one perfectly.
Do you?
Yeah.
Uh-oh. Joey's
Okay.
gonna have to make a vague comeback.
No, it's Dameon Pierce. I know it because he was incredible last year. Got snubbed in the Pro Bowl going into year 2. He's the apple of my eye. And yeah.
So this is Dameon Pierce. I'm getting snubbed
Yep.
from the Pro Bowl after having such a great rookie year. Joey, I am so sorry, but that is incorrect, which means Eric, who said confidently.
Who said it?
I know this one. Who said this quote, Eric?
And I am 2 for 2 on knowing Joey's quotes right off the bat. The reason why I know this is that it's hilarious. This was George Pickens claiming that he was snubbed for the Pro Bowl in the AFC, an AFC that had Pro Bowlers like Jamar Chase and Devontae Adams in it, and setting his sights to making the Pro Bowl this year.
Eric, that was absolutely correct. This is Steelers wide receiver George Pickens on his goals going into his 2nd season in the NFL. Nice job, Eric, getting that one. So based on your commentary around it, I'm guessing you don't buy George Pickens as a Pro Bowl wide receiver in year 2?
No, I absolutely do not. I mean, just practically speaking, he could have a career year and probably be the 6th best wide receiver in the AFC, right? So like he's going to have to climb a very, very high mountaintop to get his way up there. Maybe if some guys are, still in the playoff run or whatever, and they opt out, that'll be his opportunity. But things would have to go perfectly for him. And I'm very bearish on this Steelers passing game. I'm not a Pickett guy. And Pickens is probably going to be 2nd, maybe 3rd in the pecking order in terms of targets this year. So it seems like it's a lofty aspiration for him.
And based on context clues, bearish is the negative one and bullish is the positive one.
Bingo.
Did I nail that?
But I like bears more than I like bulls.
That's exactly what I was just thinking. But I do like cows. But I guess bulls are cows. We'll discuss this later, Joey. We can redo our animal rankings.
I mean,
It's been a couple weeks.
Once again, just push off the important issues. Put it on a show.
Joey, it's just that we talked about bears for an hour last time.
Yeah.
It takes up
It's a good
so
conversation. We didn't even touch polar bears.
Much
Didn't get that far north.
You're not supposed to touch the polar bears, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, don't. They're not nice.
Craig knew this one as well. Eric got George Pickens, said this was a big thing on Twitter a day or so ago. And Grim says Pickens will never be a Pro Bowler. I don't know about that. He does have the talent. We'll see if he can piece it together. But I am with you on this Steelers passing offense not looking so great. All right. Well, Eric, that's going to bring your score up to 4-0. There's still one more round, 2 more questions of Quotey McQuoteface before we move into vague descriptions. But we got plenty of vague descriptions and plenty of time for you to come back, Joey. So don't get discouraged yet. Here is your next quote. Eric, this one's coming to you. I'm very optimistic on that one. I don't want to jinx it, knocks on wood. I mean, the kid's already hitting over 22 miles per hour on the GPS, so he looks freaking good. Who said this and why did they say it?
Oh, God. Are you really going to expect me to know what adult uses the word frickin'? when they know that they're being recorded.
You don't have your frickin' rankings ready?
I don't know. It's still early in the off season. I get that a little bit closer to kickoff. Right.
So much can change.
This is probably a coach talking about an incoming rookie, I would guess.
The groans of unsurety.
There are so many quotes that could make this. There's so many coaches that could make this quote, and so few guys that would use the word frickin'. I'm gonna say this is Mike Vrabel talking about Tajay Spears.
This is Mike Vrabel talking about Tajay Spears, and I love that the word frickin' was the focal point of this. Eric, the word frickin' led you astray because that is not correct on either account, which means Joey, we are coming back to you. I'm going to throw this quote back up there. I'll read it one more time. I'm very optimistic on that one. I don't want to jinx it. Knocks on wood. I mean, the kid's already hitting over 22 miles per hour on the GPS, so he looks freaking good. Who said this?
Yeah, see, I did a lot of research this offseason on tendencies of running backs that you would not see in their combine report. And Jonathan Taylor loves knocking on wood and saying the word frickin'. So this is Jonathan Taylor talking about new rookie quarterback Anthony Richardson in Indianapolis.
Going a different route from Eric with this one. And Joey, it is not going to pay off because that is entirely incorrect, which means, Eric, we are coming back to you for a chance at redemption on this one. Who said
that
this?
out of my ass?
Why did they say it? It sounded so good. You almost convinced me, and I had the answer key.
I really wanted Joey to have just workshopped the players that are going to describe fast guys as such.
That's my favorite part of this game is it becomes more of a creative exercise than quote identification.
That just would be beautiful if Joey was just in the lab working on this. I suppose that I'll stay in my original lane. I'll go with a rookie. Pete Carroll says frickin'. He's talking about how fast Jackson Smith-Njigba is.
This is Pete Carroll talking about how freaking fast JSN is. But it is not. This is actually Jets head coach Robert Saleh on running back Breece Hall potentially being ready for week 1. He's already up to 22 miles per hour. So they were asking him about if he was going to be ready to go. Robert Saleh seems to think so. Joey, I wanted to ask you,
how
high are you on bald heads as a fashion statement going into 2023?
I'm pretty high on bald heads. I really like it when the guys that go out to the sun a lot shave their heads bald but leave a little bit of stubble. And they got like the Jack Johnson thing going. I dig that a lot.
Get a little bit of a sun pattern on top of the head.
Salah's got the Mr. Clean going. I mean, it's aerodynamic. Yeah, you could count on that, but it's a little too clean cut for me.
He could probably like fit his head through things easier.
Yeah.
And someone with hair doesn't get tangled on things as much. So if you're ever in a situation where you need to do that, he could probably.
Everybody's got their kinks. What can you say?
Now, Eric, a little less importantly, what's the ceiling for Breece Hall this year after coming back from an injury? Are you still as high on him as the community seemed to be before the injury?
I'm still pretty high on him, right? I think the answer to your question is how quickly he gets back. And according to Mr. Clean, Robert Saleh, he looks pretty freaking fast out there. So that would be indicative that he's probably in a good position to be ready for the start of the season. And if that's the case, I mean, he's easily, a running back 1 in terms of his upside, right? I think he could, practically speaking, finish somewhere in the RB5, RB6 range, right? Obviously, some of his scoring opportunity is going to go to Aaron Rodgers as they focus on the pass a little bit more. But I do think this team is primed to score more points than they did last year. So that high tide should raise his touchdown upside as well.
You really hope this Jets offense is better with the addition of Aaron Rodgers, that makes it a better team. Craig down here did not get it, but was the only one kind of on the right track. Everyone else fell into that same rookie trap as you guys. Craig said Sean Payton talking about Javonte back from injury. So great guess, Craig. Half a point. And Scott Fish down here, all in on that bald head trend going into 2023. We got one more quote in this game. Joey, this one's coming your way. This is the last one of Quotey McQuoteface, and then we are going into our game of vague descriptions.
I got to get one.
You hear about most guys, and you see them in the program, and they're listed as 6'6", when they're really like 6'4", 6'5". But he's like a true 6'6". He's a true 250, 260, and he can fly and can run all the routes. He definitely gives something for the defense to worry about or to game plan for. Joey, who said this, and what are they talking about?
Quentin Johnston's big, and that's the first thing that comes to my mind. I don't know if he's 250 though. I think when he came at the combine, he was like 245. So yeah, he might have got up to 250 if he ate some chips or something. I don't know what people gain weight with. Funny. I should know. I drink a lot of coffee. It's probably coffee. So yeah, I'll say Quentin Johnston, and it's Austin Ekeler talking about him.
Austin Ekeler talking about the new rookie wide receiver Quentin Johnston on his team is incorrect, Joey, which means, Eric, you're going to have an opportunity to steal here, extend your lead. Who said this and why did they say it? I'm going to go and pull that back up for you so you can take a peek at it.
So I'm going to continue to fall into the trap of believing that people only give quotes about rookies this time of year. Quentin Johnston also came to mind for me, but I don't think I didn't believe him. I don't believe him to be that tall. Another guy that I believe to be a size-speed combo is Jonathan Mingo. I don't think he's 6'6" either, but I'm going to say that this is Bryce Young making this quote, and in his eyes, everybody is 6'6".
This is Bryce Young making the quote because from his perspective, they're all giants. Eric, unfortunately, that is incorrect, which means, Joey, you're going to have one more shot at redemption here. Do you want to take that shot? Do you have one more guess on this? I'll throw the quote back up one more time for you.
See, here's where I made my mistake, everyone. I saw run the routes, and he can, fly, and I was just like, of course, it's a wide receiver. Nay. This is the Bills coaching staff talking about new tight end, Dalton Kincaid. I almost forgot his name. I'm here today, folks. Yeah,
people only quote about rookies. It's a fact.
Mm-hmm. Joey saying this is the Bills coaching staff talking about Dalton Kincaid. And you got Dave in the chat agreeing with you, Joey. And you would both be incorrect. I am so sorry. But, Joey, you did correctly find one of the tricks at the end. This is about a tight end. But this is I clicked the wrong button. Daniel Jones talking on working with new Giants tight end Darren Waller, saying that's a big dude who can run every route on the field.
Did Jay make these questions?
Jay did set up Quotey McQuoteface for today. So we had to get one Giants quote in there. So after that game, Eric, you've got a lead of 4-0 as we head into vague descriptions. I'm going to give a quick rundown of this game, and then we're going to jump right into it. Before I do that, though, I did want to remind everybody about a new article we've got out on fantasyalarm.com. Our friend Britt Flynn wrote an article, Fantasy Football Best ADP Risers in Best Ball. It is Best Ball season, so if you want to go get some hot advice, you can check that out at fantasyalarm.com, written by our friend Britt Flynn. The game we're about to play is called Vague Descriptions, guys. And it's pretty self-explanatory. I'm going to give you a category and a very vague description of something in that category. You tell me what I'm describing, you're going to get a point. If you don't, your opponent will have the opportunity to steal. We will come back for redemption one time in this one as well. But if nobody gets it, then we're going to move on to the next prompt. The chat loves this game. We'll see if they get it. So that is a reminder to you guys to close the chat because I need everybody in there playing along. Who went first? Eric is actually still up first. We keep the same order going. Eric, are you ready for your first vague description?
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay. Your category is movie. So your category is movie. Your vague description is PETA's nemesis tries to make polka dots a thing.
So what am I answering here? I think this is describing Cruella de Vil from 101 Dalmatians. Did I do that right? The movie
is 101 Dalmatians that I'm describing here. Cruella de Vil is PETA's nemesis, trying desperately to make polka dots a thing. That's going to be 1 point for Eric for correctly identifying that vague description. Joey, you look flustered and upset by that.
Yeah, because it's fine. That's the correct answer. I wouldn't have got there.
You wouldn't have got there.
No.
I mean,
job, Eric.
PETA has so many nemesis, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's
a
8.
big
Maybe I
pool.
should have said one of PETA's nemesis.
One of many.
Is that the correct plural for nemesis, Eric?
Nemesis? I think. I'm not sure.
Nemesis, maybe?
I only work here, man.
I think it's nemesis. The chat was on this one. Mr. Scampers with 101 Dalmatians. Grim fan also with 101 Dalmatians. Nice job, guys. Joey, that's going to put Eric up 5-0, but you've got plenty of time to come back in today's game. Are you ready for your first vague description?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Okay, your category is
movie,
TV show.
Oof,
your category is TV show, and your description is bartering for a piece of luggage.
What?
Bartering for a piece of luggage is the description of the TV show. You got a guess for us?
Trading spaces, barter.
Trading spaces is incorrect, Joey. Eric, do you have a guess for this one?
I immediately locked in on trading spaces, and now I am floundering. Trading places.
Trading places, logging that in as well. Unfortunately, that is incorrect. Joey, you want to take one more shot at this?
No,
Joey passing. Well, the chat got this,
redemption,
including your mother in the chat got this one correct.
Good job, Mom.
The answer is Deal or No Deal. You're bartering with the banker.
What is that?
The game show where the models hold the suitcases. There's a banker. You get it. It's a pretty popular TV show. You know Howie Mandel?
Wait, isn't it a briefcase though? Is a briefcase technically luggage?
I think a briefcase is technically luggage.
I'm gonna object to my victory today.
Good job, Mom.
Scamper's got this one as well with Deal or No Deal. And Grimfan getting close with Baggage with Jerry Springer. A phenomenal
I've seen that one. I've seen that show.
We're talking about.
Great.
One Nation got this one as well. Nice job. Nice job, One Nation. Well, Joey, you did not come back, but Eric did not extend his lead with that one at all.
Mm-hmm.
And Scott Fishing here also saying Harry Mandel equals bald.
Not wrong.
I know Howie Mandel is the stand-up comedian. My mom, when I was in 6th grade, took me to one of his stand-up shows, not knowing that he uses a lot of dirty words. But he used to put the rubber glove over his head and blow it up. It was very funny.
That was a bit that he had?
Yeah. Oh, God. Howie Mandel is a good stand-up comedian. Then he had Bobby's World.
Did he wear gloves on his hands during the glove on his head bit, or the gloves on his hands come later? Because
he would take like a rubber surgical glove, put it over his head, and blow it up. It was like a gag he did.
That's an interesting
miracle.
That's like I'm sure pure coincidence that now he's like known for being a glove wearer because of the germ thing, and he had a glove.
Oh my God! It was there all along.
It was there all along, staring at us. Wow. We saw the gloves hiding over his face the whole time.
This is a simulation. This is not real life.
And he had a full head of like curly, dark brown or black hair. He wasn't bald.
Go look up young
Howie Mandel
and wink at him. Also, Joey's mom in here saying Meghan Prince Harry's wife was on there. She's got the Deal or No Deal lore for you, Joey. We need to go over and watch some.
Mom, why are you watching so much Deal or No Deal?
It's a fantastic show. Or it was. I used
clearly
to
a game show enthusiast. Right?
Wait, that's the game they have at Dave and Buster's.
100% they have it at Dave and Buster's.
The things, yeah. I've played that game.
All right. Well, Eric, we are back to you. The score is still 5-0. Are you ready for your next vague description?
I am.
This one is also a TV show. A woman from Texas, a dude who loves the number 3, Harry Styles' friend, and a guy who owns a couple bars don't care if you're attractive.
Wow. I don't even have
thriving here.
I don't even have a slight idea what this might be.
I am sorry.
The woman from Texas is Peggy Hill, so I will say this is King of the Hill.
King of the Hill is incorrect. Joey, do you have a guess on this one?
Is this American Idol?
Joey,
there's 4 people.
This is
Katy
not
Perry's
American Idol, unfortunately. Eric, that sends it back to you for redemption. Would you like to take another shot at this?
Boo redemption. I feel like as a Texan, I'm letting some part of our population down, but I don't have the slightest idea what this is referring to.
Well, the woman from Texas is Kelly Clarkson. The dude who loves the number 3 is Chance the Rapper. Harry Styles' friend is Niall Horan. And the guy who owns a couple bars is Blake Shelton. And they don't care if you're attractive because they're judging you on the voice.
No, that's American Idol. That's what I said.
Yeah.
Joey, you were ever so close with American Idol. Basically the same TV show. One just has Lionel Richie and one has Blake Shelton. And I think that's the only difference.
Chance the Rapper is on The Voice now?
He was on the most recent season. It was Chance the Rapper.
I feel exponentially more washed than I did when this show started.
That puzzle was stupid. Okay.
Killer.
Did you see what I did there, Simon?
It's beautiful, Joey.
Yeah.
And Joey, your mom got another one in the chat down here. One Nation Underground getting this one. Nice job. And Grim fan, not the answer with Victorious, but I like the guess, and that is the kind of show I would throw in there randomly. Scampers loved that bit, Joey. All right. Well, the score is 5-0. Joey, we are back to you on this one. You almost got that last one right. Are you ready for the next question?
Sure. I want to get a point today.
Okay, this category is
a movie.
Oh. It is football.
Hey.
A couple days off work where anything could happen.
It's football?
Football. So a couple days off work where anything could happen.
Anything. So bye week?
Final answer?
Yeah.
I'm sorry, Joey. That is incorrect. Eric, do you have a guess here for us?
No, because my guess was bye week. I don't know how I have 5 points here. Joey and I are equally bad at this game.
A couple of days off work.
A couple of days off work. It is a long weekend where there's football.
Weekend is incorrect, which means Joey, Eric's favorite part of the game, you get a shot at redemption.
Yeah, this is flex scheduling because like flex scheduling, this doesn't make any sense.
This is similar to flex scheduling in that apparently it doesn't make any sense, but the correct answer is wild card weekend. Weekend is a couple of days off work, and if it's a wild card, anything could happen. One Nation Underground was the closest with this one, with Super Bowl weekend down there. Grim fan said suspension.
We'll see. I see why he said that because Jay wrote these questions, right?
No, I wrote these ones.
Oh, okay. I was going to insult the Giants.
Do it anyways.
So yeah, Jay wrote these questions, and for the Giants, that is Super Bowl weekend. Is wild card weekend because they can't ever win the division, so they can only get through the wild card.
Roasted.
Absolutely incredible. Scott Fish coming in here and getting it. Mr. Scampers as well. Like I said, wild card weekend. Sorry I missed that, you guys. All right, well,
left in the show. Okay.
With a blistering score of 5-0. Whose turn is it now? That one was
Eric's.
That one was Joey's, which means Eric, we are coming to you. Are you ready for your next question?
You sure am.
Your category is football. Two
Super Bowl
birds,
weekend.
a big goat, and a minor. What is this a vague description of? Two birds, a big goat, and a minor.
Big goat and a minor.
Oh, I got this one.
I don't.
Just miss it.
I will.
Oh, God.
The Eagles-Chiefs Super Bowl where there's a San Francisco fan there.
The Eagles-Chiefs Super Bowl where there's a San Francisco fan there is incorrect. Joey, you look like you think you can steal this one.
This would be the NFC West because you've got two birds, a big goat, which is a ram, and then the 49er.
This is the NFC West, Joey. Two birds, a big goat, and a minor. Joey, that is going to give you a big old 1 point for correctly getting that one right. A score of 5-1. Nice job parsing through that.
I got one of those things.
Did you recognize the 49er? You're like, there's a 49er in there somewhere. And just the wrong bird. But Joey, you got 8 minutes. There could still be time to come back. Tim in the chat with you on this one, getting NFC West. One Nation Underground and Grim fan as well with this one. Nice job, guys. Joey, this next one's coming to you. An immediate chance to continue gaining ground on Eric. Are you ready for your next question?
Yes, I am.
Okay. Your next category is football.
Movie. All right.
Your next category is football.
Let's go.
The descendants of Gaia and Uranus, but they live near Bruce Springsteen.
Jungle Land is a Bruce Springsteen song. The descendants of Gaia and Uranus. Is this the New York Giants?
Joey, the Giants, formed by the blood of Uranus's castrated penis, and now living near Bruce Springsteen in New Jersey. This is the New York Giants. It helps to know your penis mythology. Yeah, absolutely. Let's hear it.
The Jungle Land, I was like, I knew I was off base because I was like, oh, wait, no, nobody knows Jungle Land. But then I remembered you were talking about singing that New York concrete jungles. And I was like, oh, jungle. And I was like, New York. Oh, those are Uranus is big. That's a giant. Yeah, that's how I got there, everybody. Knew none of it, but I got there.
That's like, there should be an entire parody of Slumdog Millionaire where it's just this like horribly circuitous path to the answer that is never the right thing, never the right reason, but then it's just like New York Giants.
Few TV characters I've ever connected to as much as JD on Scrubs when they'd show like how he got to like what he was like thinking, just how like his mind would just go off. I really got JD. Oh, okay.
Mr. Scampers is in here with the New York Football Giants getting that one. And Craig likes your taste in music. Says Jungle Land is an amazing song.
It's a good song.
Mr. Scampers said Uranus is big. Joey, you're right.
Mm-hmm.
Put it on a t-shirt. Eric, you ready for your next question?
I am.
Okay. Here is your next question. Your category is football. Former Browns head coach who loves athleisure.
Why can't I think of a single Browns coach now who is clearly wearing jogging suits? Oh, it's athleisure because he cuts the sleeves off. This is Bill Belichick.
Eric, this is 100% Bill Belichick, and probably the worst way you could describe that man as former Browns head coach who loves athleisure. It's going to add another point to your score, bringing you up to 6-2 on that one, and a little bit of a lead. Anyone in the chat get that one? Yeah, Scampers got Bill Belichick on that one. One Nation got Bill Belichick on that one. And also Scott Fish wanted to know, conceived of the blood of a castrated penis isn't the normal way to have kids, right? I feel like I may have done it wrong. Scott, if you figured out a new way to create children, you should really let the world know, because this is getting out of hand that we're having to go through that method.
You said castrated penis. I thought you said cast iron penis.
From his cast iron, the blood of his cast iron penis. Now that's a different mythology. Yeah. I think that's Norse mythology, if I'm not mistaken. Joey, we got time for one more quote here. I think we might have time for another one after that. Are you ready for your last turn? Mm-hmm. Okay. Joey, your last vague description is in the category of restaurant.
Okay. I go to those.
A restaurant that is easily made a liar by Ancestry.com. And so your vague description is a restaurant that is easily made a liar by Ancestry.com.
A restaurant that's easily... So Ancestry.com is where you find out who you are. Do olives not grow in gardens? Is that how it... Oh God, Joey. Chili's, no. Oh man, I feel like I'm gonna kick myself.
Joey just running through every restaurant he's ever been to.
Yeah. All 5 of them.
I'll just go with Olive Garden because olives are not grown in gardens.
It's because slogan, when you're here, you're family, my guy.
Eric nailed it. When you're here, your family. But Ancestry.com may have something else to say about that. Proven Olive Garden to be liars. Joey, that is going to earn you a point for pulling Olive Garden out of your ass for no reason. Bringing you to 3 points to Eric's 6.
Next round. Let's go.
It is going to not be enough to win this game.
Mm.
You know what? We got time for one more round if you want to do it. You
No,
still can't
it's
win. So you
fine.
can make it a little bit better.
Okay.
Okay. We're going to hit one more round in here. Eric, here is your next quote. The category is animal. The vague description is a well-protected slug.
A snail? That's a snail, right?
This is a snail, Eric. 100%. Okay. Some of them are more straightforward than others. That's going to give you another point, bringing you up to 7 to Joey's 3. And Joey, here's the last one of the game. An opportunity to make the score 7-4.
Yeah.
A little less embarrassing.
Okay.
The category is football.
Okay.
A loyalist to the most recent edition of another country.
A commander?
This is Eric, you have the opportunity to steal here if you would like to do so.
I'm guessing it's not a commander, a patriot.
Yeah.
This is the New England Patriots. I'm going to go ahead and give you that point, Eric. The most recent edition of the country of England, and they're a little bit loyal to it. Eric, that is going to make you the winner of today's combined game of Quotey McQuoteface and vague descriptions, proving your initial message to me at the beginning of the day a little bit wrong. Eric messaged me, "Oh, great, a new game for me to lose at."
I only lose
you're
here.
playing me.
This is an upset. Well done, Joey.
Well, Eric, congratulations on your victory. And everybody watching, make sure you go and follow Eric. Check out what he's doing at Fantasy Nav on Twitter. And then check out the work over at Green Screens Media as well. That is going to be it for us today. We'll be back tomorrow at 3 p.m. Eastern time for some more fantasy football game show fun. But coming up next here on the Better Sports Network, you've got Better Sports Betting with Dan Servadidio and Howard Bender. You're going to talk MLB bets, props, and NBA and Stanley Cup odds until 5 p.m. Eastern time. And then tomorrow at 3 p.m., join us back here for some more of this. Until then, we're out of here. Thanks again to Eric. Thanks to everybody in the chat who came and hung out with us. We'll see y'all bright and early tomorrow afternoon.
Bye.
Adios.
So is this how